If you're just joining us, you're watching News at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. For the third time, the Inspector General of Police shunned Senate invitation to appear before it. Senate declares police chief as enemy of democracy as IGP says Senate's action is deliberate blackmail. APC crisis takes a turn as new PDP bloc gives party leadership 7-day ultimatum to address alleged marginalization of members. Federal government orders increased surveillance and screening at Nigeria's borders to prevent Ebola spread into the country. And North Korea frees 3 U.S. citizens from prison ahead of historic meeting between President Donald Trump and the country's leader, Kim Jong-un. And channelstv.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from the respective stores. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels Television and Channels 24 apps have an eyewitness feature with which you can use to share pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and please follow the instructions. The Divisional Police Officer in the National Assembly, CSP Abdul Sulu Gambari, has blamed the April 18th invasion of the Senate and removal of the mace by hoodlums on internal conspiracy. Mr. Abdul made this revelation during an investigative hearing into the invasion of the National Assembly by a joint ad hoc committee of the Senate and House of Representatives. According to him, what happened at the National Assembly was an act of internal conspiracy among some security agencies and some lawmakers. He said that there was no communication from the Sergeant-at-Arms at the National Assembly during the invasion by the thugs. The chairman of the committee, Senator Bala Ibn Allah, asked the police to provide the committee with copies of the station diary where entry of the crime was made. He also directed that the committee be given copies of the crime routine diary, pictures of those arrested and the register explaining where the invaders were transferred to. Elsewhere, another rift seems to be appearing among the ranks of ruling All Progressives Congress, where members of the new PDP bloc within the party have issued a 7-day ultimatum to the leadership of the APC to address issues of alleged marginalization. The group led by Mr. Kawu Baraje reminded the APC that they assisted the party in wresting political power from the administration of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. At a news conference at the party headquarters in Abuja, members claim the group has been neglected in board appointments of federal government agencies and other parastatals. Mr. Baraje further alleges that members of the group are treated as if they are not legitimate members of the All Progressives Congress.
That those people are probably... Candidly speaking, we believe very sincerely that in any group that you find yourself, the moment there's no fair play, the moment there's injustice, the moment there is, a kind of what appears to be a witch hunting, the moment there appears to be a special treatment or to certain people, then definitely you begin to have a feeling that you don't belong. And very sincerely, those of us from this side, from this group, we have come a long way to build APC. We made a lot of contributions, sacrifices to build APC. We have made a lot of, contributions, like I said, to ensure that APC do not only come to power, but it comes to power with dignity, and it carries out good governance. And in the People's Court, we have not only plus, but plus plus. Incidentally, we are not getting that.
Well, let's now cross over to our Abuja studios where Linda Akiwe has some more stories. Linda?
Hello, Millicent, and welcome to Abuja. From politics to health, an emergency operations center is to be set up in the country as part of proactive efforts to forestall an outbreak of Ebola disease. In addition, the Federal Executive Council has directed the Ministry of Health to step up surveillance activities at all land borders and airports. The Minister of Health, who briefed State House correspondents after the weekly meeting, said the Nigerian Center for Disease Control is also considering sending a team to the DRC as part of capacity building for managing the outbreak. The council also condemned some federal universities that charge tuition fees, describing the act as a breach of the law.
Of concern to Federal Executive Council is the outbreak of Ebola in Democratic Republic of Congo. As you might be aware, over the last 1 month, the DRC recorded 19 suspected cases of viral hemorrhagic fever and lost 16 of the cases. But what is also particularly important was on Monday, blood samples from 5 patients in DRC, particularly in a particular district of DRC, two of the 5 cases, Ebola was actually confirmed. And Federal Executive Council has now directed the Federal Ministry of Health to step up emergency surveillance activities at all land and airport borders so that we can actually keep Nigerians safe. What we'll do is to set up an emergency operations center. Not only that, we'll be screening incoming passengers, particularly passengers from DRC and neighboring countries. We will also ensure that we step up all activities. We'll be screening people coming in so that we will not be caught unawares.
No federal university should charge tuition fees. That's the law. And we understand some universities, some federal universities now charge fees per course units. And we are going to make sure we investigate that properly and make sure it stops. And, but students can pay other auxiliary fees, but not in excess. Various university councils and managements should be able to fix what fees students should pay that is affordable and acceptable to the students.
Members of the joint health sector unions across the 36 states of the Federation have been directed to immediately join the national industrial action embarked upon since Wednesday, April the 18th. The president of the Workers' Union issued the directive when he briefed journalists about the outcome of the 3 rounds of meetings held with the federal government between Thursday, April 16th and May the 17th, 2018. He says the strike is being prolonged owing to the existence of fifth columnists who are interested in seeing the healthcare system privatized by government. The striking health workers are demanding, among other things, the implementation of an upward adjustment of salary structure as contained in the agreement with the federal government in 2017.
After 3 rounds of meetings held on Thursday, 26 April 2018, 2nd May 2018, and 7th May 2018, respectively, at the instance of the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment to find a way forward, but alas, the Federal Ministry of Health is bent on thwarting all efforts at reaching an amicable settlement of the issues of our demands. Government has not shown any seriousness to meet our demands, and the existence of fifth columnists in and out of government who are bent on escalation to prolong the strike for their selfish interests of privatization of government hospitals and buy these government legacies for themselves has not helped the matter. Since the government has not shown enough commitment to toe the path of honor and meet our demands, especially the core demand for the upward adjustment of CONES salary structure, as agreed in the Memorandum of Terms of Settlement signed on 30th September 2017 with GESU, we are left with no other option than to direct states and local governments to commence and join the strike action nationwide from midnight of today, Wednesday, 9th May 2018.
While health workers lock horns with government, the Katsina State government is asking the federal government to consider dialogue as a possible solution to the crisis between herdsmen and farmers. Governor Aminu Masari is suggesting that the federal government should adopt the amnesty strategy which he and some other northern state governors used in mediating between Miyetti Allah and farmers last year.
That we will deal with this situation. So, together with other governors of Northwest and the governor of Niger, we organized a security outfit under GOC with the support of the president. And we were able to achieve a certain level of success before we say, okay, let's all of us go home. We came and organized ourselves, and also we were lucky after the election of the Miyetti Allah, we discovered in the new leadership of Miyetti Allah those who are willing to work with us. So we work with them, we went into the forest. We were able to bring the leaders of the herdsmen out gradually. It took us more than a year before they could trust us and we can trust them. And we say, okay, let us have a truce. We organized this amnesty program that culminated in handing over arms and ammunition in January last year. All our emirs, all the GOC and military officers and police, all from Kano, from Kaduna, were all there. And over 350 Edwangu were handed over.
To watch the full interview, join us in Question Time on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. on DSTV channel 245 and 2:30 p.m. on UK platform Sky Channels 518. Now, when the News at 10 returns, federal government to extend its tax reforms to multinational companies operating in Nigeria. That's some business news. Details after the break.